Everybody hates DEI detected, and that's from Krabata, who started the Sweet Baby Inc. Detected Steam Curator that caused all the controversy around the consultancy firm itself. And now they're making a broader website to look over all the consultancy firms within the industry. And I think this is a smart thing to do. You can't depend on Steam to actually protect you. You have to go out there and actually make your own website and service that pleases the fan base that are trying to avoid support for these consultancy firms that desecrate the video game industry with their own perceived social, political, progressive talking points. And I think Krapatus, the creator of the Sweet Baby Inc. Detective Curator, is doing a good job here where he's focusing on the overall consultancy firms that are influencing the industry. And of course, this is leading to a lot of people having problems with what he's doing. And of course, I'm talking about the games journalists that have complained about Krapatus, and obviously the consultancy firms. You can see by their reactions to the development of this site, they're trying to destroy it. You have Alyssa Mercante, who works for Kotaku, calling the creator of DEI Detected racist, who is obfuscating from what's happening with the gaming industry, blaming the gamers themselves for destroying the industry, and this site being the bane of existence to quality games. And of course, you have developers themselves that are complaining about being listed on this website because it's having a tangible influence in the video game industry. And I think that's what we're seeing, where we're seeing attacks on the website. We're having DDoS attacks to the overall traffic, trying to disrupt the website, crash it. And of course, the website is strong. It seems like Krapatus, the creator, was able to foresee this to happen, so there have been no crashes with the website so far, but the complaints are growing. And I think I see this as something as a win for the gamers here, where we have a site now we can go to comfortably and see the games that are influenced by the consultancy firms that we hate, and we can just not pay for them anymore. I think that is going to drive people away from using them within the industry. It's going to stranglehold out the money from the industry. And I think this is the thing. Even good games that could be good are going to be damaged by this, and they're going to realize I can't associate with this anymore if I want to make a game. And I think that's what we're seeing with one game in particular that is having a hard time now. It's called Zao, made from a Kenyan game developer, and it may be a good game, but its association with Sweet Baby Inc. is going to destroy it. And I think that's a sad thing, but it's a thing that needs to happen, where if you associate with these DEI focused video games consultancy firms, you're going to be destroyed. Even if your game is of quality, it is going to have a negative attachment to it. And I think people are raising real questions with a game from a Kenyan developer making something about African culture, needing a sensitivity reader to look it over so they understand, so they can adapt it to American culture. I'm like, isn't that the antithesis of what you want from a Kenyan developer? You want a Kenyan product from the Kenyan cultural perspective, but it has to go through the filter of Sweet Baby Inc., where it has to have all the standards. And I think the standards I'm thinking about that won't be perceived in Kenya is going to be related to gender preferences, LGBTQ community stuff that shouldn't even be related to Kenyan culture. But those ideas and concepts are going to have to be filtered within the game itself. And I think that is the thing people are disliking, where cultures have to be destroyed in order to create a game from that culture. And we see it with Japan, we're going to see it with Kenyan and this game too. So I'm happy that it's being put on the site where we can see, oh, this was culturally destroyed by Sweet Baby Inc. We can throw it away. And I think that is the thing you're going to get from gamers. We want the pure interpretation of your culture. We don't want the filtered version from Montreal social progressive ideologues. So I think that is the pure thing people want from the video game industry. And I think pointing these things out are the righteous things to do. People are going to complain about it, saying a black man made a game themed in his Kenyan culture, and people in the comments are saying things like DEI. And I think that is a true thing. We can say that DEI because you're having to filter your culture through a Western standard. It's not pure Kenyan culture when it has to go through the standardization of American perception and what we approve and what we don't approve. And I think that is the thing people don't want. They want the pure interpretation of people's cultures through their own facts and analysis, and not through the interpretation of some westernized standard that doesn't perceive that culture at all. And I think that is the thing people hate about sensitivity readers. People hate having that culture denigrated and disrespected because it doesn't meet the standards of whatever westernized people think is good or bad. And I think Kenyan culture, whatever happens in this game, I think it's been filtered. It's probably not even the purest form anymore, because I had to appease people that are the antithesis of African and Kenyan culture. And that is quintessentially the Canadian or American standard. We're not African or Kenyan culture type of people. We fly in the face of it. I think that is the essential thing that we're seeing here. And you even can see in the comments, the guy said, why do they need a game to be filtered through a consultancy firm in Montreal? And this guy says, I think in order to get proper funds from shareholders, certain things need to be checked off. So consultant Sweet Baby Inc. might be one of them. And that's what gamers don't want. They don't want people have to consult with this company that wants to destroy your culture or any interpretation you have of it. They want their own perception and view of your culture done through their filter, and I think that is something people don't want in the gaming industry. And I think this person stumbled upon the thing like, oh, they have to filter it because they can't get money, and that is showing a racketeering ring that is being done within the games development sphere, where you can't get funding unless you go to Sweet Baby Inc. And I think that's what the gamers want to destroy, and I think that's what DEI Detected is leading a lot of gamers to do with these parts and elements of the gaming industry. And so I think this is a great thing. I love what's happening with Sweet Baby Inc. Detected. It's evolving into DEI Detected. Sweet Baby Inc. is just one of the bigger consultancy firms that have influence over the gaming industry, and I think seeing the other consultancy firms such as Gamer X, what they did to the avatars for Pokemon Go, people are realizing this is a real problem in the industry that needs to be identified. And I think DEI Detected is one of those success stories we have in this fight against these type of gaming consultancy firms that are ruining the industry in and of itself. So I'm hyped that this is the cause, this is occurring. This is a beautiful thing to have happen in the gaming industry, where we have an actual fight back against the people that have been tearing down the parts that we love of the industry. And I think the next step is really to get back at the journalists. The journalists are going bankrupt. These companies are going bankrupt, but they're still out there fighting for the consultancy firms. They're fighting against the developers. They're trying to tear down Stellar Blade. They're trying to tear down any other game that is not following their perception of what gaming needs to be for the future. And I think this is one of the first steps we have with DEI Detected, to notice these games and to avoid them. And I think that's the thing that we're doing. We're just avoiding games. That's it. We're not doing anything else. We're just saying we don't want that influence of that consultancy firm. We disagree with them, so we're gonna leave those games alone. And I think this is the perfect thing that to set up a fight against these industry insiders that are not planning to go away. But I think with the failure of a game or two, they will have to go away, because there's no money to make in gaming if you don't make good games. And I think that's the thing that they are lacking severely. They don't know how to make good games, and I think that is the biggest advantage for the gamers out there, because these guys have no talent, and talent wins in the end in the video game industry. This is not like Hollywood, where you can have no talent and win no matter what because you have family connections. If you fail in video games, your company fails and you're bankrupt instantly, and there's no coming back. So it is a razor sharp industry where you have to be on your P's and Q's, and you have to be successful consistently. And we're already seeing things like this happening to Alan Wake Remedy Games, all these other studios that have these slight failures, and they're already under pressure where they have to think, okay, what do I do? Do I stick it with this DI and go bankrupt, or do I change what I do? And I think a lot of these developers have to think carefully now because of Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, and now DEI Detected, where it is an albatross to be associated with these consultancy firms, and more are going to be listed. And I can't wait to see how this site grows. But you tell me what you think about the situation. What do you think about DEI Detected making everybody hate Karabatus and the creator? I think it's obvious everyone's going to hate this, but I think us the gamers, we love it. But you leave your comments, tell me what you think. Like, share, and subscribe. This is Wagner Knows Why. Catch you next time.